The following is a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hey, good morning. It's Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group. I'm a certified financial planner practitioner. Here with me today is another certified planner practitioner, Alex Monk. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Brian.
How are you been doing through all that's going on at this time?
You know, it's a strange time, and I'm adjusting, but I'm really busy, and I'm really glad to be able to be there for clients through this time.
Yeah, I think contacting clients and working with them has really made it something that we look forward to talking to our clients. It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of video calls, a lot of opportunity to talk with them. Being able to talk to them. Some clients are very secure in their house. Some people are still working. All different situations going on. So one of our big goals today is to talk about the amazing topic is going to be this. Are you sure you're ready to retire? What that means to me is, are you sure? What does that mean to you, Mr. Monk?
Well, I sure wish I was, but it means that you're comfortable, right? You know that anything in the market isn't going to mess up your financial plan, and you're financially independent, and you can retire on your own terms.
It's like a dream of retirement is truly financial independence. That financial independence is where, even if you're working, financial independence is where you're able to go to work knowing that you're choosing to work not because you have to, because you want to. So financial independence is true retirement, knowing that there's enough money today and enough money in your future to be able to make you win in retirement, to really help you know there's enough money to meet all the needs today and all the needs in the future. The goal of this show today is to talk about, are you sure you're ready to retire? And the key ingredient we believe to are you sure, are you ready to retire, is a financial advisor. Adding that a financial advisor to give you a solid second opinion, to go through everything you're thinking about to make sure that you are ready to retire. So, Alex, can you talk about income and expenses and what your thoughts are for any and all retirees?
So that's a big thing, Brian, is knowing your numbers. And our thing is financial fingerprint. Every person that walks through our door is different. They could be neighbors, they could be best friends, and a lot of times they are, but their situation is different. The amount of money that they need is all tied to the amount of money that they are spending. And if they come through the door and they say, hey guys, I don't have any debt and I need $4,000 a month to live, that person is probably going to be okay. The person that walks in and says, I have no idea how much money I need and I still have a mortgage and I owe on 2 cars, that is usually a little bit hairier because there's more stuff you got to figure out. But really knowing your numbers is a huge thing, and then you got to figure out where your income's coming from, and that could be a multitude of different places. Social Security, last time I checked, it still pays, so that's good.
Yeah.
Some places
there's been rumors that Social Security is actually going to run out of money a little sooner based on the fact that people are not working now, they're not paying into Social Security. So I think it's more of a rumor at the moment, but I think the math does work out where if people aren't working, they're not paying into Social Security. So Social Security in 2035, they had talked about Social Security having to reduce the payout. So I do believe that the current event, the virus and this pandemic, is affecting the long-term effects of Social Security. I don't think it's going to drastically change it, but it does change some of those numbers.
Absolutely. And I know that there's companies out there that are cutting their match on their 401k right now. and that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Some are laying people off, some are doing furloughs. There's, a lot of stuff going on right now. But having and knowing where your money's coming from when you're retired is very important. And we have to know what we can count on, right? So Social Security, if you're drawing it, I don't think they'll change it. If you have a pension and it's fully funded from your company, or it's a government or a state pension, that's something that's not going to go away. The rest of the money, you have to figure out on your own where to come up with. And there's only, you either got to save it or work, right?
Well, absolutely. You need to be financially independent, you're going to need to have multiple sources of income. Now, those that are blessed with a pension plan, they are going away. And what I mean by going away is that very few people have them as they retire nowadays. Only if you stay in a job 30 plus years do you get these pensions. And even people that have done that, there has been many pensions that have been frozen that any new employee won't get that as part of their financial plan. So when we talk about, are you sure you're ready to retire, we're really talking about people that are within 3 to 5 years of retirement, 1 to 2 years, or even 1 to 2 months away, where they're looking at where they are right now. So what we're saying to start out with is this. Know your number, which is your expense number. How much do you need every month? We've had some people come in and see us and say, hey, I'm fine. I have my mortgage. I'm going to keep paying that. I'm not going to pay that off before I retire. I'm 62. I'm good. I'm going out. And then we have to come back with another alternative answer, right?
Sometimes the answer is not easy, Brian. Sometimes it is, you got to downsize, or you got to work longer, or a combination of the both. You got to cut expenses. And I don't do this to become people's friends. I do this to give them that sound advice, right? I want to tell them the truth every time. I'm not trying to tell them what they want to hear. And sometimes it's not easy.
But it all starts by getting information and gathering that information. We do things called discovering your financial fingerprint. If you go to our website at akersfinancial.com and look at documents on the top bar to the right, hit documents, you'll see discovering and identifying your financial fingerprint. These are just 2 documents that can help you gather your thoughts and information as you begin to have someone help coach you into and through retirement. So the mindset of someone that's getting ready to retire, we want them not to just go because they hit an age, but because they know their number. They know that the income projected and the income they need are in very good shape. And the fact that they know in 12 years when things cost a lot more, that they're still going to be in good shape. So inflation does affect our retirement projections.
It sure does. And when your government starts printing money, that can lead to inflation. Most likely it will, but we can just see it in looking back in history. 30 years ago, a minivan didn't cost $50,000 or whatever they cost now. It just wasn't the case. So we got to have enough money to keep up with that. We have to have enough money to make sure that we can meet our monthly expenses. But that also means we need money to grow, right? We need money to keep up with inflation. And it's about finding that balance, that risk-reward balance. And that answer is different for everyone. But we typically say take your age minus 100. And that's something I stole from you, Brian, and you took it from who? Westheimer?
Yeah, Julius Westheimer, back in the day. He was my favorite radio financial advisor years ago. So what you're talking about there is about investments. Now, on our show today, we're covering, are you sure you're ready to retire? And our first topic is really examining where you are, where it comes to your income and your expenses. You need to know what they're going to be. You also need to know your balance sheet. The balance sheet is your assets and also all of your debts. I believe that retirement is all about cash flow. If your cash flow is already required to be spent on debt, there will not be much discretionary money, any extra money for you to enjoy the retirement years.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm a big believer in enjoying kind of what we work so hard for, right? And we don't know what the future's going to bring. So it's got to be some kind of a balance now, and then down the road, what do we want to do? People need to know that number, because if you spend too much in those early years, Brian, that can be one of the biggest mistakes in retirement.
Absolutely. They might eat their investment retirement account down so much that we projected out that it might only last 10 to 12 years. And then we have to have a very serious talk on how to lower your budget. And we've had those talks with people. Generally, some of the advice starts out with the best paying job that people have is the one they have right at the moment before they retire. So if they want to retire and then get a part-time job, they're going to make far less money, and so they won't be able to catch up by working part-time. But the idea of sticking with the current job, there are many clients when they think about it, they go, well, I'm stressed out, the job's changing, I don't really want to change with it. So when it comes to retirement planning, we really have to look at where they are with their job, with their balance sheet, with their budget. Everything comes together.
It's very important to know where your money is and where it's coming from, Brian.
Absolutely. When it comes to your finances, we need to think about what's going on. You don't want to be reacting in this kind of the kind of market that's out there. What you want to do, instead of reacting to the market and to everything that's going on, try to be creating. Do you know that reacting and creating have the exact same letters in them, just in a different order? So if you're constantly in a reaction mode, that's when sometimes the decisions made are not the best decisions. When you say, okay, here's where we are and what we can create from that, that'll change your attitude. What we would like you to do is really think about calling Akers Financial Group at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Or the regular numbers are 833-946-7384, or go to our website at akersfinancial.com. Alex, what are the 5 most common rollover mistakes? That answer after the break.
The choice of your child's school is vitally important. Wouldn't you go a few more miles for something really special? I'm Brian Wilson, principal of Harford Christian School. Harford Christian is an independent school in northern Harford County, serving students in preschool through 12th grade. Our Uncommon Core makes all the difference. For nearly 50 years, we've partnered with parents in the important responsibility of training children in God's truth. Our biblical worldview stands in stark contrast against today's culture. At HCS, political correctness is never prioritized above God's unchanging truth. We hold the bar high as we prepare students to serve God's kingdom, not just the workplace of man. Affordable tuition and transportation options put the choice of Christian education within your reach.
Come visit the longest established Christian school in Harford County. You can become acquainted with us through a private tour or on the web at harfordchristian.org.
You are unique. Just as no 2 fingerprints are alike, each individual's financial situation is uniquely their own. That's why the Akers Financial Group's team of advisors begins each relationship with a proven process that identifies your financial fingerprint. We'll guide you through a series of steps designed to provide a complete and accurate snapshot of where you are right now. Everything we learn about your financial fingerprint will become part of a detailed financial plan created especially for you. We'll never give you a cookie-cutter proposal or suggest a one-size-fits-all portfolio. The financial plan takes you from where you are now to where you need to be. Begin by discovering your financial fingerprint right now by going to getmyfinancialfingerprint.com. That's getmyfinancialfingerprint.com.
Member FINRA SIPC.
Are there times in some games you wish you could just turn on the TV at the 2-minute warning? Because that's the most important part of the game, right? As a fan, these are the most exciting moments. Your team could take home the victory or crumble under pressure. But when it comes to your retirement, don't wait until the last 2 minutes. So much can happen in the final working years before retirement. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, near or already in retirement, there's still time to put a plan in place. Don't wait until right before you retire to begin planning for your future. Can you win the retirement game like that? Come in and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Alex Monk. We are both certified financial planner practitioners at Akers Financial Group. We have offices in Lutherville and Forest Hill, but mainly what we're doing is offices through virtual. That means over the video, Zoom, and also the phone is really how we're working with people nowadays. And how do you enjoy this new way of working with your clients, Alex?
I'm glad that I can talk to them and see them no matter what the scenario is, but I'm ready to get back to normal life. I'm a human contact guy, socializing.
Yeah.
I like leaving the house. I like that sunshine, so hopefully we'll be out here and having somewhat of a summer again.
Hopefully very soon. We'll have to see all the plans that are made for reopening. So basically, as we left the first segment, what I talked about was, Alex, what are the 5 most common rollover mistakes? So I'd like you to talk about that. Our show today is, Are You Sure You're Ready to Retire? And we want to cover this segment here is about what are the 5 most common rollover mistakes that people make.
All right, so the biggest one, Brian, out there, and I don't want to scare everyone, but it's a big deal, especially if you have the bulk of your net worth in your retirement plan. You don't want to make a major mistake because it can cost you a lot of money. But the biggest one out there is having the check made payable to you and not wherever you're sending it. Because when the check is made payable to you, it becomes taxable. If you take out all your money at one time, let's just say it's $500,000, you now owe at least $100 in taxes. I hope you didn't spend it all.
But typically, they automatically withhold 20% if you pull it out of your retirement account as you retire.
Yeah, so most plans have that mandatory withholding. If once you get it to an IRA, there are no minimum requirements there, so you have to be careful on taking that money out. But you don't want to cash it out, and you don't want to take a huge lump sum.
Absolutely. So we're talking about rollover. A rollover is when you have money in a 401k, TSP, 403b, 457, any kind of plan like that, and you want to take it from a company plan and roll it into your own individual retirement account. Now, and we're going to talk about some of the mistakes in the transaction. Then we're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the concept of rolling it over, and that's something you should be doing. But when it comes to rolling money out of your retirement plan, normally it begins where you, an advisor, make a phone call to your 401k plan, as an example. On that phone call, you got to make it through their maze of phone numbers and then finally get to a representative, and then you got to say that you want to do a direct rollover. Now, as you go through that maze on the phone, it always says, go to the website. And what happens is they try to push to the website nowadays so often. When you go to the website, you're filling it out yourself. And then many times that's when the mistakes, where you check the wrong box. Or you refuse to check. If you don't check the right box, and you end up getting this check mailed to you. So Alex, that first one, the first common mistake is where people are in a rush to get their withdrawal out. They check the wrong box on the form, and the check is sent to them. Withholdings are done. They get the money, and they're like, I didn't mean to do this. But instead of the $500,000, let's say they get a $400,000 check. Now, what happens on that $400,000? What are their options?
So luckily, there's a little loophole called a 60-day rollover. They've extended that time period this year. So you have 60 days under normal circumstances to get that money back into a retirement account. The thing that catches us is we took out $500,000, but now we only have $400 to put back in.
Yep.
So there's still $100,000 taxable that you can't spend because it's already been sent to taxes, and hopefully you have to wait to get it back, but you would need to have the additional cash to put back in to reverse the whole thing.
And we've had it where I saw the mistake a bunch of years ago. Someone did this on their own. The check came in, and we said, don't take the check. Let's get a stop payment on the check and get a redo. So this common mistake, sometimes you can fix it as long as you don't cash that check.
Yeah. Once the check is cashed, there's no going back.
All right, what's your number 2 on your list about 5 common mistakes on rolling over your retirement money?
Brian, and this is one of my pet peeves because there's a lot of guys out there that are that don't believe in this. They think that all the money should come out, but sometimes these retirement plans have benefits that we don't want to give up. For example, the Baltimore County Nationwide plan has that great fixed account. We don't want to give that up.
Right, absolutely. There's lots of benefits in plans. That some plans have low costs, some do not. Some plans have a lot of choices. Most of them do not have a lot of choices anymore. When it comes to the advantage of keeping your money in a retirement plan, there are, as you're an active employee, you actually can borrow against your retirement account in most cases. Not that we ever recommend that, and we're definitely not recommending doing early withdrawals right now under this COVID-19 situation when it comes to your finances. But the idea of the plan benefits are, it's there. Normally, the fees are relatively low, but not in all cases. They have investment choices. Sometimes they're a lot, sometimes they're not. So you got to know your unique situation.
Absolutely, and it's figuring out how all those things fit for your plan, because some plans have some things that others don't. So I've seen a lot of plans limiting more and more investment options. So they're driving people towards these target date funds. I don't think that everyone that is retiring in 5 years is the same. And I'm not a fan of anyone telling me how to invest my money. I want it to be personalized, and I want to have control over it. And that's the biggest thing that we've been seeing, and that's where we come in and we can help people. We can show them different ways to invest their money, different strategies, some safe, some risky, but all of it working together to meet their ultimate income need and to be financially independent, because I like that my clients can retire and not worry. What about you, Brian?
I think it's the key to doing retirement planning. And now the third of these 5 most common rollover mistakes is what, Alex?
Is you have that rollover, and now you don't know how to invest it.
Absolutely. You're talking about investing it where you're too risky or you're too conservative. You have all those combinations, right?
Right. And you don't want to go to cash unless, does that fit your plan? Do you have enough stocks? Do you have too many stocks? Are you taking too much risk? Where's your protected money? How are you going to handle a market event like this? These are all questions that your financial plan needs to answer when it comes to investing your rollover money.
All right, we're going to do number 4 now. What's number 4 on the 5 most common mistakes when someone rolls over their money?
So if there's after-tax money in that plan, most times the participant says, send it to me, right? But they have the option to roll it over to a Roth.
What's the advantage of that?
So that money, if you don't need it, it can go into the Roth IRA and it can grow tax-free and be withdrawn tax-free. And that's fantastic.
Are you saying that we like tax-free?
I am a huge tax-free guy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now the final 5. Number 5 on the 5 most common mistakes someone makes with their retirement plan rollover.
They spend too much money too fast. The biggest one is, I'm going to take 100-some thousand out year 1, pay off my mortgage. They think that's the way to do it. It's not.
Well, they pay it all out, and then by taking such a large lump sum, they jump tax brackets. By jumping tax brackets, you're giving the government even more of a share of your retirement money than you ever would if you take that money out over time. So knowing your taxes, knowing your situation is extremely important in making the decision on how much to withdraw and when.
Yeah. That first year can have such a big impact on how your retirement goes. Because you can make some mistakes in the first month even that can have devastating impacts. And that's why we want to help people do it. Not everyone retires 6 times a week. How many people retired? You had 2 this week, Brian?
Yeah, two just retired, absolutely, and a couple more retiring May 1st. So it's happening. Now, one thing I want to make sure we talk about here in this section is that if you have a retirement plan at your work and you're retiring between the age of 55 and 59 and a half, there's a special exclusion where you can withdraw money directly from your 401k and not have a penalty over those years between 55 and 59 and a half. So you need to know your exact situation before you make any, let's roll over all my money, let's roll over portions, let's see what's the best advantage for you and your family.
Absolutely. You got to know your number.
Absolutely. Now, the best part of retirement is really getting your time back. You decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is usually tied up with all these commitments, mainly your job, but just all kinds of things going on. A lot of that goes away at retirement. Your time is now consumed by things you want to do. And hopefully we'll be able to get out there and do all those things very soon. To begin winning in retirement, call Akers Financial, and to schedule your free visit is to call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's WINRETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE or 833-946-7384. And we can schedule an appointment. By calling in, you'll get our voicemail, or you'll talk to Susan, and she'll set up a call with one of our team of advisors so you can begin your retirement plan right now. Alex, what is the biggest expense for most people in retirement? That answer and more with winning in retirement after the break.
Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
Akers Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at akersfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hi, this is Jesse Cunningham, the owner of Mountain View Insurance, and we are proud to be affiliated with Akers Financial Group. We, too, base our business on integrity, service, and acknowledge that every client's insurance needs are unique to their own situation. At Mountain View Insurance, we specialize in car insurance, home insurance, and umbrella coverages, all designed to protect your assets that you've worked so hard to earn. When serving our clients, we focus on creating a protection plan that is appropriate to your needs. After we determine the correct plan, we then go to shop for you. Mountain View Insurance is an independent insurance brokerage, and that means we have access to many top national and regional insurance carriers. Let us build an appropriate and affordable insurance plan for you, and give us a call directly at 410-262-3176. Once again, that's 410-262-3176. This is Jesse Cunningham, owner of Mountain View Insurance, and I look forward to hearing from you.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Alex Monk, certified financial planner practitioner. You've been with Akers Financial Group 9 years. You've been working with our clients and also one of the heads of our investment portfolio committee. And I really believe that you've really grown into this financial planning career, and I think you really do enjoy it, right, Alex?
I don't think I'd ever do anything else, Brian. It's my life's work for sure.
It's great when you have a job that you're helping people and helping them achieve the goals that they have set since the very beginning of their work life. Retirement planning is not just a one-stop, one meeting. It is a build-up and a follow-through and implementing this throughout a lifetime. So before we left at halftime of our show, we had a question, and that question was the following about the biggest expense during your retirement years. What do you think that is, Alex?
It's going to be health insurance.
Okay.
And medical costs.
That's going to basically almost take the expense of your mortgage when it comes to retirement planning.
That's very, very true. And for most people, it's actually more than the mortgage on their first house, just with inflation. That's a big number. It's a lot of money every month, and it gets overlooked.
Absolutely. There's a lot of decisions on benefits and healthcare. We're going to cover that just in a minute. In our last segment, we were talking about 5 common mistakes of rolling over your retirement plan to an IRA. Now, one thing we didn't do was cover what are the advantages of rolling money from your employer's retirement plan to your own individual retirement account.
Well, you get freedom, Brian. That's the biggest deal, is having control over your money. I don't know how many people out there have tried to interact with their work plan, but I have gotten in many, many arguments with an automated dialer because they are just not easy. And they don't know you. You can call the same number 3 different times and get a different answer. How do you know which one's right? That's where we help our clients navigate the investment landscape. Figure out what's the right answer for them and show them different options to make sure we're going to keep up with inflation, but also be able to provide that monthly income that we need. Because like you said, Brian, retirement's a game of cash flow.
Right. So I believe one of the biggest advantages of rolling your money out is that inside of 401k plans, there really is only a money market as the protected option. There is not a lot of protected options. So as we have our clients getting closer to retirement, we want to raise the no-risk side, and all of a sudden inside the 401k, where most of the money is, there isn't an option, a choice like that. So many times when a client begins to see us after the age of 59 and a half, there is an option called an in-service withdrawal. That in-service withdrawal is an active employee in a 401k over the age of 59 and a half. Many plans allow someone to withdraw a portion of their retirement account and directly roll it over to an IRA. Then you can diversify into investments that are not offered through their retirement plan as they have it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing there. We want to be able to have some safe money. Some of these plans think that 1% in a money market is the answer. Some of the new law changes, they're putting in some other fixed options. If you read the details on those, you cannot get your money out. Well, it's going to be hard. You can only take a certain percentage out over a certain number of years. But so basically your money has to stay in there. That's not always the answer, because life doesn't work like that. And that's why we keep meeting and updating our plans with people every year, because life changes. We need to be able to adapt. And we need to be able to keep up with whatever is happening. There's also a lot more options once you get to the IRA universe. If you want to buy stocks, if you want to own individual bonds, if you want to own different type of asset classes, you can do that in an IRA, whereas a qualified plan, most likely you have 15 or so target date funds and maybe 7 to 10 mutual funds. And that's not going to cut it when it's the bulk of your net worth.
Because we're seeking diversification. Now, as you're checking out, are you sure you're ready to retire? Some of the aspects is, what does your plans offer? And then really, what does your company offer when it comes to all these benefits? What I'm talking about here is your health insurance. What is your health insurance choices? How does that affect based on ages? How is that affected based on Social Security? Alex, what's your thoughts on that?
I tell people, if you retire without health insurance under the age of 65, budget $1,000 a month per person.
All right.
That's a big number, Brian.
Absolutely. You're talking about if they leave a company before 65, they don't have Medicare yet, because you don't get that till 65 unless you're disabled. But they have to go out and get health care on their own. That health care, they have a choice of staying with their current company called Cobra, which is usually the full amount the company's paying with no subsidies. And then there's individual market or the Affordable Health Care Act as options. It doesn't get easier where you have no pre-existing conditions, usually until you're 65 years old under the current health care options.
And Cobra's usually outrageous. I mean, just massive numbers.
Well, I know you feel that way, but being a small business owner, I know those numbers because that's exactly what I pay. I mean, we write the check for that full amount. Healthcare is being provided to employees through their employer, or they're paying it on their own. Now, I've seen many people say, well, I pay $50 a paycheck. Oh, that's a whole lot of money. The reality, if you have a family of 4, the premium's probably a couple $1,000 a month. And so someone's paying that. When you retire early, you're going to be the one that has to pay that. So knowing what's going on is very important. Some of the things in the new healthcare law as you retire, if your kids aren't 26 yet, you might retire with them still on your healthcare. That's a little problem to worry about. The other thing when you retire is that the life insurance ends. Your group benefit plan ends. Now, some plans will offer you a portable plan based on your age, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're paying triple outrageous prices for life insurance if you want to try to keep it. There are many decisions as you get ready to retire. To know that you're absolutely sure you can retire, you need to know what benefits you need and where you're going to get them, and that you're covered. And so at Akers Financial Group, you sit down with the financial advisors. We have one of our advisors who specializes in healthcare, and what he does is talk about what you have now, what's the best thing, if you have a great company plan or through your government, state, federal job, how great those plans are, and how that gives you the advantage over many people when you try to truly retire even early. Early to me is before your full retirement age, and so anything before 65 requires a major decision on what you're going to do with your health care.
And the math gets harder the earlier you retire. If you are even touching principal and you're not, say, 65 or ultra high net worth, the math on keeping up with inflation is very difficult. It's hard to have enough money. So we got to know and plan well in advance if you're going to leave at 62 or 60, depending on your situation. And it can be tough to go back to work because, like you said, Brian, your last job is probably the best job you had. So this is a one-time decision. We don't want to go back.
Now, when you're thinking, am I sure I'm ready to retire? Now, emotionally, we might be, yes, I'm done. I want to retire. I don't want to go back into the workforce under whatever the new rules will be. You might want to try to retire now. Now, if we jump the gun without thinking through every piece of the decision, that could be a big mistake for you and your family. We recommend financial planning. And that financial planning always begins with their unique financial fingerprint, right, Alex?
We want to know as much as you'll let us know. We'll look at everything. But we want to cover all the bases, the estate planning. We want to check beneficiaries. We want to know your budget, your debt, your assets. We want to know it all, and then we want to show you how it all works together and then help you make the best decisions for you and your family.
Yeah, and so it starts with that unique financial fingerprint, and then it builds. And it builds into advice that's written out, and that's what we provide our clients. That we provide it written out, and then we walk you through implementing that plan from now and into and through your retirement years, through the good years and what could be the bad years. Financial planning is where you know your cash flow, you know your benefit plans, you know your investment choices and how they work for you. To begin winning in retirement, what you need to do is call Akers Financial Group to schedule your free meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you'll be sent to a voicemail, or you'll talk to Susan if you call on Monday. And then she'll call you back on Monday so you can answer any question that you have, schedule a time with one of our team of advisors. So what you do is call 833-WIN-RETIRE to start planning your retirement now. That's 833-946-7384 or visit AkersFinancial.com. Alex, does a financial plan help people invest properly in retirement? That answer and more in Winning in Retirement after the break.
You are unique. Just as no two fingerprints are alike, each individual's financial situation is uniquely their own. That's why the Akers Financial Group's team of advisors begins each relationship with a proven process that identifies your financial fingerprint. We'll guide you through a series of steps designed to provide a complete and accurate snapshot of where you are right now. Everything we learn about your financial fingerprint will become part of a detailed financial plan created especially for you. We'll never give you a cookie-cutter proposal or suggest a one-size-fits-all portfolio. The financial plan takes you from where you are now to where you need to be. Begin by discovering your financial fingerprint right now by going to getmyfinancialfingerprint.com. That's getmyfinancialfingerprint.com.
Member FINRA SIPC.
Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
Long before 18-year-old Brooks Robinson was signed to play third base, and years before Natty Boh began brewing at the corner of Conkling and O'Donnell Streets, Baltimore families relied on the Evans family and the Evans Funeral Chapel and cremation services to help them during some of their most important family moments. Hi, I'm Charlie Evans, and for 4 generations, my family and I have been there for families, providing care and compassion in their time of need. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services provides the best facility, staff, and personalized service for your family. We have 3 convenient locations to serve the community: Parkville, Forest Hill, and Hereford. For more information, visit us online at evansfuneralchapel.com or call 410-665-9444. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services, serving Baltimore families since 1865. I invite your confidence.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Hey, I am Brian Akers, and here with me today is Alex Monk. We're experienced financial planners. I know I've been doing it for 30 years now. Monk's been with me for 9 years. We have a staff at Akers Financial Group of 16 people. Currently in this environment, we have many of them working out of their homes. We have a few of us at the office working the essential side of the business. As we talk today, we're trying to talk about winning in retirement. The goal today is to talk about, are you sure you're ready to retire? If you have not been listening since 11 a.m. this morning, you can always go to our website. Or if you want to hear it again, you can go to our website at akersfinancial.com. That's AKERS financial.com. If you see the radio tab up top, you click that, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see all of our shows saved there so you can hear them once again. If you need something to listen to or something to fall asleep to, it's really fun, right, Alex?
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend driving long distances and listening to it back to back, but I think it's good in segments.
Well, we try to title it so you can go back and get the topic you need. But more importantly, go ahead and call us, get the live version of and how it applies exactly to your situation. Now, the last question I had for you is about the importance of financial planning when it comes to investing properly in your retirement. Can you talk about that situation when it comes to how do you plan and advise people on how to invest in their retirement years?
So, Brian, earlier you brought up retirement being a game of cash flows. And that's exactly what it is. It's how much money do you need into your checking account every month to spend to be okay, to live the life that you want to live. The more income that you need off your investments, the less risks you should take. So people out there, if they're thinking, well, I need a lot from this money, I'm going to be more aggressive, are now realizing that pain as we go through a market event. And people are living, 30 years retirement these days, Brian? Guess what? We're going to have another market issue between now and then. We got to make sure we're prepared for it. So we got to find out that number, and that's where the planning side comes in. So once we know what your income need is, then we look at where all your money is. Is it in IRAs? Is it in Roth IRAs? Is it in a joint account? Is it in a trust account? And then we got to figure out how that's going to impact your taxes. Jumping tax brackets in retirement can be a very big deal. I mean, it could be 10%. That's a huge number. I mean, 10% you're going to know. If I lost 10% of my body weight, man, that would be a big deal. So that's an important thing to watch out from, is where are you jumping brackets, and then how does that impact my Medicare? Because it's means-based. Is that going to go up? Did I do the right thing there? We got to know all those numbers and how they work together, because paying less taxes, well, not less, but paying no more than you need to is a very big deal when it comes to planning for us.
Right, so when someone comes to see us right before they retire, we don't have choices to make it that much better. If someone comes early and earlier, we can actually line up different sources of income for your retirement years. We, of course, love Roth IRA and tax-free income for retirement years and for legacy building. We have retirement plans through work where it might be pre-tax and your match is pre-tax. That will be taxable in retirement. Some people we've seen are retirement rich, but basically they're cash poor. They have all their money in retirement accounts, so the only money they can access is to pay all the taxes. So if they need a big item like a car, or if they want to go on a large trip, again someday, they have to take out $40,000, $50,000 to try to get money because they got to pay taxes. Knowing your money where it is, how it's titled, and the tax effect of each and every piece you save is extremely important. In a meeting I had this week, I had a young couple, been married about a year, and we're talking about what they should do at work. And he said, well, I'm doing 6% pre-tax, and then they match 3%. And I said, well, because of your age and your tax bracket, I really want you to think about doing a Roth 401k. And they said, oh, yeah, that is offered. And I said, well, it's going to affect your paycheck about $12 by paying that tax now. But by paying that tax now, you pay it once and never again. When you think about everything that's going on in this current environment, when it comes to government help, government spending, the debt, I believe tax rates are going to rise throughout the future years. So when tax rates start going up in 2026 under the current law, those tax rates are going to be a big piece and a big battle we have as we pull our money out of retirement accounts. Right now it's pre-tax on the way in, but it's taxable on the way out. But how you invest, Alex, whether it be protected or in the market or diversified, is a really big deal, right?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. A lot of guys out there, a lot of advisors, their answers are stocks, bonds, and cash. And that's not going to cut it, because we see exactly what happened here. Bonds go down too, just like stocks. So we like to use stuff that's actually principal protected for our safe side. We don't want to charge someone a fee on their safe money, their bond money, and that's not going to work when it goes down and they're only getting 1% interest. That sounds like the client loses. We want the client to win in this scenario. So having things that are actually principal protected, that provide income guarantees, whether it's lifetime income or long-term care benefits, something like that, that's the type of plan that we like to structure to cover all the bases. And we can use fixed indexed annuities, and then we're going to also have cash. We're going to have some other short-term vehicles maybe. Then you're going to have stocks. You're going to have a well-diversified equity portfolio. You got to have a little bit of everything. We also think you should own some real estate. You should definitely own some gold to fight against inflation. But the percentage of all these things is all based on that financial plan. What's your risk tolerance? How much money do you need? When do you need it? What's the goal for the money? Do you want to give it away, or do you want to spend it all? So there's a bunch of different things that impact how we invest, and that's how I don't understand how people can tell people how to invest their money without knowing all that stuff. You got to know everything.
Absolutely. A financial plan begins with where you are. It talks about your situation, and then it says, well, what should it be to help us manage rough times in life? We believe that diversification, the use of protected investments, can actually reduce the money that's lost in events like we're going through right now. When you don't lose as much as the market, you also don't have to make up as much as the market comes up. You need to have a plan that's for all seasons of life, all seasons of the market. Yes, the market long term does well, but if you need money next month, if it's in the market, that's not the best thing. If you bought bonds that are high yield, you've seen that value drop drastically throughout this event because of the creditworthiness of this yielding bonds. The government came in and supported some state and local governments to try to help the municipal bond market. So there's a lot of pieces where do you get your protection from? But in proper planning and investments, you need to diversify to make sure that you don't have big losses.
Absolutely, Brian. And the reason we want to have things that are actually principal protected or not going to lose is exactly for these type of situations. If you have all your money in stocks, you cannot sell high right now. When everything's down, you do not want to sell for your income. So that's when you want to draw on your safe money. And if for the more aggressive people, they may want to put some of that safe money on the riskier side of their portfolio. But either way, we don't want to be in a forced withdrawal scenario. That's the biggest issue.
Because what happens, instead of having a plan, people are reacting to what's going on. Normal reaction is to be defensive. If that's what you are now, if you think about reacting, usually you fall back into your sofa, you fall back in your chair, you lean back, and basically you're reacting to some type of force. You fall back. We want our clients to be leaning forward. I want you to seize the opportunities that are there for you. We want you to be creating in this kind of environment. Create your retirement plan. Create where your money's going to come from. Know that you're okay. Know that you're going to be okay now and throughout retirement years because you have a plan to support it. So don't be reactive in nature. You need to be creating and grab opportunities. So, Alex, so if I ask you, are you sure you're ready to retire? What are some components you'd like to review as we close up here?
I want to know that income need. Know your numbers, right? As we've been saying the whole time. Know your cash flow numbers. Know where your safe money is, and know where your next year of income is coming from. That's my number one.
Absolutely. Knowing where the cash flow and income drives the beginning of retirement and getting to that point where we say, yes, you're okay. Now, yes, you're okay doesn't mean that retirement's going to be an easy thing. I believe it takes 2 years as you get into retirement to get to a new normal. That new normal of living off your money instead of you working for your money. There is a mindset and a big change there. So if you want to find out, are you sure or are you ready to retire, you can give Alex, myself, or one of our team of advisors a call this coming week. Thanks for this show today, Alex. I appreciate it. I thank you all for listening. Be sure that you give us a call at Akers Financial Group. What we'll do is we'll sit down with you over the phone, of course, or Zoom meeting, or whatever version of video conference you're comfortable with. And what we'll do is have a conversation about you and where you are. You can begin your retirement planning now by calling 833-946-7384, or you can visit AkersFinancial.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
The preceding was a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Akers Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at AkersFinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC. Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family, protect your estate, retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at AkersFinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Imagine this. When you get home today, you get a call from your son-in-law. He and your daughter are on their way to the hospital to deliver your first granddaughter. You're in Maryland and they're in California, but no worries. You just book a flight for you and your wife to leave in a couple of days so you can see your new granddaughter when she first comes home. You don't need to worry about flight costs or how long you can stay. Is this what you want in retirement? Then sit down with the team of advisors at Akers Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Visit their website at AkersFinancial.com or call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
Broadcasting from the Thompson Creek Window Company Studios. High-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their local factory. This is WJZ-FM Catonsville, Baltimore. 105.7 The Fan. A Radio.com sports station.